The Knicks front office is operating an absolute masterclass right now, and if you're confused by the roster shuffle, you need to hear this. From an elite center replacing Mitchell Robinson to a massive DeMar DeRozan buyout rumor to a potential Jordan Clarkson reunion, here is how the Knicks are perfectly manipulating the second apron to build a dynasty. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a like if you believe in this front office.
If you were confused about what the Knicks might do with their final roster spots to defend their championship, here is the breakdown of a massive potential update that could shake up the Eastern Conference. The front office is staring down the barrel of the luxury tax, but a six-time All-Star might just fall right into their laps. According to Charlie Badwini over at Heavy.com, citing Yahoo Sports' Kelly Iko and Sports Illustrated's Steven Simoneri, the Knicks are closely monitoring Sacramento Kings forward DeMar DeRozan. Here are the exact facts. DeRozan is currently on the books for a massive $25 million salary for this upcoming season, but only $10 million of that is guaranteed. Reports indicate the Kings are leaning heavily toward waiving and stretching his contract. If DeRozan hits the open free agent market, he's reportedly willing to accept a veteran minimum deal to join a contender. Right now, New York has roughly $6.2 million in cap space remaining under the dreaded second apron, which is just enough to squeeze in two veteran minimum contracts without crossing owner James Dolan's strict financial red line. Explain this to anyone who doubts the strategy here. This is an absolute front office masterclass in cap management. The Knicks front office is navigating the harsh realities of the new collective bargaining agreement perfectly. Instead of gutting their future assets, throwing away lottery picks, or diving recklessly into the second apron penalty to chase a star via trade, they are simply waiting for the buyout market to come to them. By saving their cap space and relying on the appeal of a championship window, the front office is proving they can stockpile talent while remaining financially flexible for the trade deadline. They are letting the Kings pay the bulk of the bill while they reap the rewards on a discount.
Translating this money into actual basketball, we have to ask how DeRozan fits into head coach Mike Brown's system. DeRozan is not your typical 3-and-D prospect, nor is he a floor spacer. He is a high-usage, mid-range maestro who has historically struggled from beyond the arc. However, as a 15 to 20-minute rotation player, he brings an elite level of self-created scoring that the second unit desperately needs. When Jalen Brunson goes to the bench, the offense can sometimes stagnate. Having a clutch isolation scorer like DeRozan ensures the scoreboard keeps ticking. The main concern will be whether his lack of floor spacing clogs the paint and how his historically shoddy defense holds up in a system that demands relentless effort on that end of the floor. So here is my definitive verdict. This is a low-risk, high-reward gamble, but it requires DeRozan to completely check his ego with the door, which is something he has never really had to do in a bench role. I want to hear from you on this one, Knicks fans. Do you agree with saving money here and bringing in DeRozan on a vet min, or should they prioritize a pure floor spacer instead? Let me know in the comments down below. The Knicks just got even more good news regarding their front court rotation, and if you were worried about how this team would survive inside the paint this season, this update is going to put your mind at ease immediately. As reported by Dylan Backer at Empire Sports Media alongside Michael Zeno from Posting and Toasting, the New York Knicks have officially signed veteran center Andre Drummond to a one-year deal to replace Mitchell Robinson, who recently departed for the Boston Celtics in free agency. Drummond comes in expected to take a veteran minimum slot, helping the team preserve that crucial $6.2 million of space beneath the second apron. Last season in Philadelphia, Drummond pulled down an incredibly impressive 8.4 rebounds per game in just 19 minutes of action per night. He will be teaming up with Karl-Anthony Towns, who averaged 11.9 rebounds a game, and Josh Hart to form what could legitimately be the most terrifying rebounding trio in the entire association, combining for over 27 boards a game last year. From a front office strategy perspective, letting a homegrown talent like Mitchell Robinson walk to a direct rival hurts emotionally, but it makes total logical sense under the new CBA. The front office refuses to be pushed into the second apron, which would severely restrict their ability to make trades or sign buyout players later in the year. By pivoting to Drummond on a cheap one-year pact, they're essentially getting elite production in a highly specific skill set without locking up future cap space. This is a forward-thinking draft and stash mentality where you maintain maximum flexibility to tweak the roster around your core superstars. Tactically, this move translates beautifully into what Mike Brown wants to do on the basketball court. While Drummond is not a 5-out center who is going to provide floor spacing for Jalen Brunson to operate in the paint, his value comes from his sheer physical dominance on the glass. Mitchell Robinson was arguably the best offensive rebounder in the league, giving the Knicks countless second-chance points. Drummond brings a slightly different flavor, specializing heavily on the defensive boards. By securing the defensive glass and ending opponent possessions after just one shot, Drummond allows the Knicks to get out in transition faster, maximizing their athletic advantage. My honest take? This is a brilliant, necessary signing. The defensive drop-off from Robinson to Drummond is real, but the rebounding continuity ensures the Knicks maintain their physical identity without breaking the bank. But I have to ask you guys the hard question right now. Do you think Andre Drummond's rebounding makes up for losing Mitchell Robinson's rim protection? Or will we regret letting Mitch go to Boston? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
We have a massive update on the backcourt rotation, and it looks like the Knicks are actively deciding whether to run it back with a fan favorite who helped deliver a championship just a few short months ago. According to Michael Zeno over at Posting and Toasting, the Knicks are closely evaluating their final roster spots, and a reunion with veteran guard Jordan Clarkson is heavily on the table. Last season, the Knicks used a mid-level exception to bring in Clarkson, taking a major gamble on a high-usage player from a destitute Utah Jazz team. Now, holding roughly $6.2 million under the second apron, with room for 2 more players, the front office is looking to fill a massive self-created scoring void on the bench. Clarkson became a champion here, but his return isn't guaranteed as the team explores all their veteran minimum and buyout options to finalize the rotation. Why is the front office hesitating instead of just bringing him back instantly? It all comes down to the brutal tension of the collective bargaining agreement. The front office is being incredibly forward-thinking right now. They know they cannot cross the second apron, meaning every single dollar they spend restricts their ability to maneuver at the trade deadline. They have to decide if they are willing to dedicate one of their final cap slots to a player they actually had to kick out of the rotation in late January last season due to poor effort before he ultimately bought in. The front office is weighing the emotional high of a championship against the cold, hard math of cap space flexibility. When you look at the tactical fit, we already know exactly what Clarkson brings to Mike Brown's system. The current bench looks solid, but it severely lacks the microwave, self-created scoring punch that Clarkson provides. When he buys in, he is the ultimate selfish role player who can carry an offense while Jalen Brunson rests. The issue is his shot diet. He isn't a great three-point shooter, his floor spacing can be erratic, and his defense is inconsistent. However, when he applies himself as he did during the playoffs, his ability to break down defenses and get into the paint takes immense pressure off the starting backcourt. I think bringing Clarkson back on a cheap deal is a no-brainer if the buyout market dries up, simply because you already know he respects Mike Brown's authority and knows what it takes to win in this building. But I want to pass this off to the community right now. Should the Knicks bring Jordan Clarkson back to defend the title, or is it time to find a more reliable 3-and-D prospect for that final roster spot? Drop your answers in the comments below.